The power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Noah Atkinson here. As owner of Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs in Lincoln, I know small business is important to our communities. That's why I'm pleased to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month.
Tony Douglas is part of the generations of ownership of Douglas Dodge in Clinton. They offer new and pre-owned cars and trucks, including the popular Dodge Ram and Durango among their inventory. It's where car shopping is made easy. They'll receive a $200 gift certificate good at Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs for being our WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month. Nominate a business you'd like featured by emailing us at whow@randyradio.com.
Congratulations to this local business for all they do for the community. And don't forget, for envelopes, wedding invitations, signs, banner wraps, and more, go to LincolnPrintersInc.com.
From the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard, with this expanded morning newscast. As always, the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, courtesy of Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The DeWitt County municipalities participate in intergovernmental agreements, or IGAs, with the county to provide animal control services to the communities. At Thursday night's Public Safety Committee meeting, the committee discussed the growing budget for animal control. While animal control is not intended to be profitable, and Chair Megan Myers wants to continue supporting the municipalities in some way, the committee believes the IGAs need to be renegotiated.
Agenda is to recommend to the full board to give notice to the municipalities to discontinue the current IGA. And I feel that we should offer to renegotiate for any interested parties. We have several things that are in the current verbiage that are outdated. Just one quick one, it says you have to retain the $5 assessed dog fee. It's really $25 per state statute now. So we need to take a look at that. And also, I know this is kind of a contested topic, but technically municipalities are responsible for their own animal control, or they can contract with a county or veterinary service. But I do think we need to look at some sort of fee structure to help offset the cost. I have asked Grace if she can provide some numbers in regards to the number of animals we're taking in from each of the municipalities to try and figure out. We've talked about this, we both agree we should continue to support them. We've got the resources, and I think it makes it easier for Grace, because if you try and disconnect that, it's going to be very difficult and messy. And we really do think we should continue to support them, but we have to figure out a way to equitably cover some of these costs that we're incurring.
For this change to become official, the full county board must approve it. Myers reiterates that they will be encouraging municipalities to stay at the table and renegotiate with the county, while still giving either party the option to go another direction.
And so after reviewing these, and I checked with Dee, we really do need to, before we move forward, we need to have the board authorize this, because the board is the one that actually signed the original agreement, and have Mr. Markwell reach out. And we feel we should also reach out to Wayne, Kenny, we've had others, reach out to municipalities and say, if you would like to come to the table, we need to sit down and figure out. And I spoke to Ben about that too. Right. And I know there's been some concern about, and Dee, correct me if I'm wrong, in the county fee structure, the fees we collect for the county cover our animal control for the rural areas. We don't include covering municipalities. So when our animal costs start to rise, that takes money away from other parts that the county is supposed to be funding. And so I think that's been a concern, that everybody pays county taxes, but that fee structure is not set up to cover the animal control for municipalities. So
services.
we want to make sure we can continue to provide the services. We also want to make sure that we've got the staff taken care of. I know if anybody's been out to the shelter, that is a very stressful environment to work in, and in the numbers that they're dealing with right now, you get burned out after a while. So something needs to give here, but I absolutely think we need to come together as a group with all the key stakeholders and figure out what's the best, and most equitable.
While the main concern of the current agreements is the amount being paid to the county by the municipalities, Myers adds that much of the language is outdated. She notes that they are required by the state to provide certain services.
So what we need right now is a motion to recommend to the full board that to give notice to the current Clinton, Farmer City, and Appellate or discontinue for animal control services. But I also want to mention at the board, and we'll ask Mr. Marco, that we need to include in that and offer for them to please come and help us negotiate new IGAs.
Animal control has never been profitable. I went back and researched it. I didn't know it was ever broken.
No.
It's a necessary service. We got to figure out how to fund it.
Right. And my concern is when we are required by the state to perform certain services, we don't have an option. We have to do that. And so if we've got to the point where our costs are such that we're now having to pull from other contingencies or what to cover things, we need to figure this out. And we need to update the verbiage. I also think we need to make sure we give ample time. I believe I've got a couple of different dates on here. So, the one that we have for the resolution from the board is dated December 22nd of 2016, which means we'd be on a 3-year cycle coming the end of December. So that's another thing I think we need to discuss with the board. What's the timeline we want to look at? Because it's going to take a few months to get through this. And in the meantime, I want to make sure that we're continuing to provide, support for the municipalities. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried.
The motion will now move on to the full county board to be decided on. The committee was firm in its belief that the IGAs only need to be renegotiated and that they would like to continue working with the municipalities. Recently on regional radio, DeWitt County Development Council Director Kurt Homan discussed the county's need for new housing, and a Clinton city leader is backing up those remarks. City Administrator for the City of Clinton, Tony Harris, indicates housing is most certainly a need. Harris says he and Homan have a good working relationship.
Kurt and I, we have a good business relationship, and I personally think that his position within DCDC is vital to my position within the city, because we need to be working together. You know, that's our main goal, is to bring new housing in town, and business and industry. And Kurt, anytime I get like a possible lead, I talk to Kurt about it. So he's like my go-to person for any kind of business or industry. The work that he did with Quickwall, we worked very hard to get Quickwall in here, and he did a lot of work. That was right when I first started in this position. So he did a lot of work on that, and we're very happy about that.
Harris's remarks come on the heels of more lots being sold at the Park Lane West development in Clinton, which continues to gain momentum with people interested in building there.
You know what? I drove through Park Lane West just yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and seeing 2 new homes going up, that just shows there's progress going on in the city of Clinton. So, that's great to see. And, at the last DC meeting, I'm on that committee, on that board, and that was brought up that we really have a need for additional housing, and today's there's not very many homes on the market. So it's a big need. And this is one part of it. We've got 15 lots that have sold since we finished up the subdivision, and we have 8 lots left. So again, that just shows progress. And the latest 3 that sold was lot 8, 9, and 10. And we're very happy about that. And we're hoping that we can see some other new homes going in there within the next few months.
With a strong relationship with the DCDC and the City of Clinton focused on moving forward with the strategic plan, Harris believes it is evidence of leadership all pulling in the same direction. We'll have more with Harris next week on the latest with the city and the progress being made on the strategic plan. The Clinton City Council meets on Tuesday, August 19th. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. It's DeWittDailyNews.com.
Shane Steinberg here from Highway 51 Exchange, your equipment rental headquarters, south of Clinton on US 51. Check our banner ad on DeWitt Daily News